All right, all right, all right. What's up? Yo, it's your boy. Hold up, hold up. Okay, now we're working. Okay. All right, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of crazy things going on. We're gonna get into it today. Thanks for checking out the program. Ooh, this is a very, very special episode. Now, um, gonna get to it. Okay, so first of all, today we're talking about Jose Vega. Let's see who Jose Vega is. Doing a little bit of research right here. I'm gonna leave these up over here. Let me bring this up. Okay. Oh yeah, Jose Vega is actually on the thumbnail. Oh, look at this. Okay. Oh, look, I didn't have to look far until I saw Sabby Sabs here. Yeah, they're part of the system here. Okay, this is actually good for me to show. Actually, I don't really look at Sabby Sabs so much now anymore, but it's good. I mean, it makes sense. It's really part of the whole program. So, all right, all right, let's take a look. So now here we see Jose Vega right here. Journalists confront over lies. Now we know. Oh, he's even on Sabby Sabs. Now the thing is that Jose Vega is part of. They've joined the Jimmy Dore machine. So the thing is, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Jose Vega in a hot moment. He is associated with Diane Sayre, and he put Diane Sayre in the background and marking him as an activist. Okay, we're gonna talk about Jose Vega for a second, because honestly, you know, I've been around this guy for years, and there's quite a lot that I could talk about. So let's get to it. So one of the things is that Jose Vega's how old is he again? Maybe 30s, maybe yeah. I think he's in his 30s, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm actually about my mid 40s. So the thing is, I've been in New York City for quite some time, and I think I've seen Jose Vega like around for decades, to tell you the truth. Right, Jose Vega. So he's actually one of the most legitimate ones out here, for real. Yeah. But the thing is that he's only appeared in certain, you know, places, and the thing is that this guy is a Larouchan, which I'm not mad at. We're gonna talk about the Larouchans in this episode as well too. There's quite a bit of I spent some time with the Larouchans. I got to know them, and some things I can read between the lines. So we're gonna talk about Jose Vega for a second. I've known him for decades, once again, and he has been around the activist thing. Yeah. Now that when I was in my 20s, right, he would have been in his teens, right? Yeah, or maybe like later on, right? At some point, yeah, maybe late 20s, he was in his teens. I saw him at some stuff from my recollection, right? Yeah, and this guy is associated with, so he's been around for a long time, and he was kind of raised in this. I believe that he's actually was either converted to a Larouchan in his teens, or was a Larouchan, was born into like a family of Larouchans or whatever, right? Which is fine, right? Okay, we're going to talk about right that in a moment. But out of all the people they've tried to have a lot of people replace me, whether it's Frank Analysis, whether it's Jackson Hinkle, whether it's Ricky Rance, whether it's Katie Halper. There's been a long list. But out of all of them, I gotta give Jose Vega props. He's the realest one. He's the most credible person out of all of them. And I gotta give, um, you know, there's some things that Vega. I really hope you watch this. Right, there's gonna be some things that you should watch out for too as well. Remember that Jimmy Dore does not have a good relationship with a lot of his past people. Like, what is it, Breaking Points now they're called, things like that. There's a lot of other shows that he's kind of like had problems with, and unless you toe the line, right, exactly what they're saying, which you're already doing so far, you're blackballing me now, right? Even though we have decades of knowledge of each other, we've never really worked like this, but we've been around, okay? We'll get more into that in a moment, right? But out of all the ones, I'd say that you have the most, you're the most legit one so far. And in New York, you're gonna have to bring your A game. That's what's up, yeah. But the thing is that if you were raised in this, right, and you started when you're a teen, which is cool, right? Okay. Why do you? So here we see you. We see a recent thing where it talks about you supporting Assange, stuff like that. Ooh, there's so much to talk about. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is quite a complex issue. Yeah. So just so you know, Jose, right? Because you've been following me too. right? You've known me for some time as well, right? Okay. So the thing is that you're not Dore's first choice, right? He wants someone like a Ricky Rance. He wants someone like a Franco who's easier to control. You have your own base with you, so they actually need you, right? They need the Larouchans to kind of establish a base in New York City. And let's talk about why, Jose. Let's talk. Is it for the good of our community, Jose? What's going on, Jose? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Look at the people who got the permit for that event, for the what is it? The Rage Against the War Machine rally. Look it up, man. Yeah, that guy's a known political consultant who takes care of people's sexual abuse past allegations and stuff. Yeah, that's the guy who filed for the permit. Nick Brana could have applied for the permit. It wasn't him. It was a guy who's known for this type of work. What's going on, man? Yeah, what's going on, man? Okay, let's continue on, right? So, Vega, just so you know, you're too strong for Dore to easily control, and right, but you're playing ball. So we can see you're already like getting put into the whole system here. Also, let's get back to the Larouche thing a little bit, right? So you're kind of like in the Larouche thing, which is cool, right? Some people say Larouche bad, like Larouche means this or that, right? And I don't make those assumptions, right? Just because you're black, I'm not going to assume that you think like this or you're going to do this, that, do things this way or that way, right? And just because you're a Christian, right? Yeah, you might have there's a lot of different interpretations of these ideologies. And I know within the LaRouche group, what you guys are really good about doing, right? Yeah, you're really good about keeping everything internal. But I know y'all are factioning off. I know there's factions and stuff. And also, right, let's be real, okay? All right, let's be real, Jose. You've been around this for a long time. You've been doing solid work, right? Yeah? You never got featured at these Schiller Institute conferences and stuff before. Before you got picked to go on, okay, nowadays you're appearing at this stuff. They chose Jackson Hinkle first. You know it's true, Jose, right? The evidence will back it up, right? Yeah. You weren't brought in until later. They need someone who's going to be a vocal voice, someone who's going to really, be a very... You're a pretty good replacement, yeah? You're not afraid to be vocal at events. That's something, that's my style right now. You start tapping the beats behind your stuff. Hey, that's cool, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I could contribute to the game, for real, yeah? But, one of the really careful things that I want you to look out for, Jose, because I really believe that in your heart you want to do the right thing, right? You want to look out for disenfranchised groups. You want to make sure that, humanity itself is taken care of. Okay, Jose? Out of all the people that you know, right, I'll stand tall on my work. You see my work. I know you watch some of my stuff, right? Also, your new relationship with Nick Brana, okay? Join me, Reed Alexander, Nick Brana, Angela for LNC Chair, and others, okay? There's a recent video of you supposedly fighting for Assange or something and anti-war, okay? You were brought up in the LaRouche thing, which is anti-war, right? They've been consistent about that for decades now, okay? But the thing is that I'm an actual war victim, okay? My motivation is pretty serious, right? You support Assange, right, because you're about free speech. I'm a whistleblower. I'm not just... I also have been a whistleblower. I'm not just about free speech, all right? I'm a whistleblower. Whistleblower against Hunter College, all right? Showed the books, how they're actually, manipulating them and abusing them. And a lot of people are scared to go at these schools. That's a fact. Let's take a look. Hunter College corruption. This is years ago. Right? Yeah, 7 years ago, right? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Edward.
Okay. Here I show how to access their books, which are available online, right? This is actually available. This was available online. I showed how they went to this plush resort on student money. How school administrators went there, had their cell phones paid for, and all this other thing. Nothing's happened about that, but I definitely, took on this issue right here. I'm a whistleblower, Jose, so that's why. That's the difference between you and me, which you're young, you're still writing your history book. That's cool, man. I wish you the best of luck. But you're selling me out for Jimmy Dore, and, it's real sad. So the thing is that I know that it's really, the one who's pushing the whole Dore relationship, right? I hope it's not Sarah. I don't really think it's Sarah, right? I know that she signed on. I'm really sad to see that, right? I think that also Helga's very influential in this. It's Dan Burke in the background, man. Dan Burke. If you look at Daniel Burke and Caleb Maupin, that whole ugly sex thing and the ties between Jimmy Dore. That's how this whole thing got set up. Okay. Yep, Daniel Burke a year ago, right? You can see them, right? Part of the Austin conference, right? This is about when the action starts happening about a year ago. This timeline is good to be aware of, right? They have a relationship from 3 years ago, right? Yeah, you can see they do go back. Once again, Daniel Burke is here with Diane Sayre, right? And then you could see that there is actually a Caleb Maupin is here with Daniel Burke. So they're part of that same crew, right? But I believe that Daniel Burke has his own faction. Yeah, okay. I know that you're not really trying to go against, right? But the thing is that Daniel Burke has his preferred shills, and Jose, you're a little bit strong. So now he's helping you, or he's getting behind you. But in terms of him, his first choice, it wasn't you, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Daniel Burke. Okay. Now let's go to let's see, Daniel Burke. Okay, so Daniel Burke also is running the Larouche Youth Movement. Okay, you know this is true, Jose, right? Yeah, you're in the organization. Caleb Maupin has a very disturbing history, right? Yeah, with this sexual abuse thing. He's always weird. What kind of communist always wearing a suit, man? The dude is management. He's not working class, bro. You know what I mean? What kind of communist are you? Supposedly the Larouchans are communists, right? Yeah, what does a communist mean? You know, maybe, and there are communists, there are socialists, right? That believe that they should be part of a vanguard party and that they are the managers for the rest of us and that they should tell us what to do. Maybe that's your philosophy, right? But, all the abuses that you guys are trying to fight against, like sexual abuse, right? Yeah, non-transparency, all this stuff that you guys are, a whistleblower like myself trying to whistleblow against Nick Brana, okay? Now, I know, Vega, I've talked to you on the phone, right? Yeah, I met you when we were part of the Lucha thing. I've known you for, we didn't really start talking until like maybe 2-3 years ago. I've noticed you at events, though. I've always been taking a look around, right? Yeah? And the thing is that, what is it? Yeah, you'll have to have seen this work right here, right? Yeah? Okay. Remember that, Jose, right? The thing is that Nick Brana, right, if you're his best friend now, right, okay, remember Nick Brana started the People's Party a while ago. And also remember he had that convention, right, the MPP convention, right? Yeah? Okay. And the thing is that the Larouchans were nowhere to be found there. Nick Brana doesn't really want y'all, right? But the thing is that, Cornel West ran away, right? Yeah. Susan Sarandon's not around anymore, right? They disband, right? They don't want to say anything to mess up their relationships, right? But the thing is that, right, a lot of these people walked away. Yeah? Yeah, they did that first convention with a whole bunch of Yang Gang, right? Yeah, do people even remember that, right? Where'd they all go? Jose, you know what happened because you were around back then. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. He's desperate, right? Yeah, Ryan Knight left. Didn't Ryan Knight also say some things about like the problems at MPP and the way they were treating workers? Yeah, you communists, come on, man. What kind of... You're not about the workers, bro. You're about the media millionaires and their corrupt ass BS, bro. Let's go on. So the thing is that Jose, yeah, let's talk more about what's going on here. So the thing is that he's put for the Assange thing recently. Let me find that thread right there. Was it promoted on Savvy Sabs? Which one was it? I just saw a post recently where it was talking about your work with the and you're being pumped by the Jimmy Dore show. Most people are, tune out direct action. I'm all about direct action. Now you have, right, Jose Vega who does some direct action, right, which is okay, right? Yeah, he's the closest thing. He's the most legitimate one that you have so far. Also, notice, look around you, Jose, right? Notice that you're a young guy, which I appreciate. Right? There are some older ones like Diane Sayre around you, right? Yeah. Um, Daniel Burke's just a big kid, but what's the other one? Maybe like Helga LaRouche Zapp, but there's not really a lot of like. Where's the other on the ground people that you saw at the events, right? Like Marty, when I recently went to the Palestinian event to talk about what's going on over there, right? Or what's his name, Eric? You know, the people that we were at those Assange events with. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right? Also, they used to. Wait a minute. Were you at those events? I was there with Diane Sayre. Okay, and they used to discriminate against y'all. The only reason why they're taking you in now is because of. Actually, they still haven't really accepted y'all yet, right? Yeah, right. That group never really rocked with you. It was always kind of like your own thing, which is fine, right? And I fought for your inclusion, right? While y'all are now, working on this exclusionary path, which is really sickening and wrong. Also, Jose, you should notice that the victims of war are not really included, right? Neither the Rage Against the War Machine event. You can't have missed how white it was. And also, y'all are having these anti-war events. No Russians, no Ukrainians, no Iraqis, right? Yeah. No Koreans, no. What? Where's your war victims at? How do you guys know how to fix it when you guys haven't really suffered from the problems? You're just someone who looked afar and, heard some things on the TV or the radio. You believe that? Come on, man. I know the Larouchans. You guys know better than that, right? So if Larouchans are watching, which I know y'all will, right? And I'll tell you, like, as in terms of like playing classic music, as in terms of being like read, being able to quote Martin Luther King, I check all those boxes. So within y'all clique, like I could kind of get along. You know what I mean? And I know like there's people that hate on y'all. I gave y'all a chance. It's still on my channel. In fact, let me show that right now. When people start, I don't believe someone's bad just because of they ascribe to a certain ideology, because there's a lot of different ways someone can practice that ideology. And that makes a huge difference. They say what context matters. So, yeah. Oh, let me just say it right. Yeah. Look, y'all pumped Jackson Hinkle as the leader. You know what I'm talking about, Jose, right? Look, this. Actually, let me show it right now, right? They pumped Jackson. He goes as a future leader of the LaRouche movement. Jackson Hinkle, leader LaRouche. Okay, or was it the great thinker? Blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, okay. So he is saying now things for LaRouche. Okay, when did that happen? Okay, so there's nothing but a Jimmy Dore puppet. Wow, who said that? He is a Jimmy Dore puppet. That's exactly true. Yeah, he is a puppet. It's not fair to follow Lyndon Roos. Wow, that's interesting. That's actually my take. Who? Oh, who? The Majority Report. What? Okay. Who's writing this stuff? Downtime writer. Look, I don't know who this person is, but there's some real truth to that. Wow. So other people are seeing this as well. Look, that's great. I'm not the only one. Wow. Okay, and I'm gonna be loud about this. I'm making a show on this right now. Yeah. Okay. So, look, the thing is that this whole Daniel Burke thing, it's crooked as crap, man. And the Larouchans, right? There's different factions here too. And the Helga Zapp LaRouche, she likes the Jackson Hinkle. She thinks he's attractive. She likes the what's his name? Daniel Burke. He's got the Harvard degree. He's well dressed, executive-looking guy. Looks all impressive and stuff. But where's the substance behind their words, right? Are they all talk about it, or are they actually helping people? That's what I want to know. So Daniel Burke just started being a frontliner. He just started coming out to events, and now that the whole sexual thing with him and Caleb Maupin and him being the youth leader, it's not a good look. So now, I just don't see him at events so much anymore. Yeah, he's gonna fight for what he can, but what's going on, man? Yeah. His all hanging off of Caleb. I mean, come on, man. It's just a bad look for the organization, And let's be real. I've been watching, right? Yeah. Daniel Burke has never really been all about Jose Vega. Maybe he started more recently, as soon as Jose started coming up and he was unstoppable, I think, within the organization. But that wasn't really Daniel Burke's first choice. Right or wrong? right or wrong. Yeah, he made multiple stops on the doornet for 3 years, 1 year ago, right? Caleb Maupin never really brought Jose Vega into the picture, right? He was he was stalling. He was making you wait because he didn't really want to share. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay. Hey, look, it's no one's perfect, right? Yeah. So look, I can't be mad, but Jose, man, I'll tell you, I've been doing this for a long ass time. Okay, I've been an activist for over 20 years. You've seen my work. I know you. We've talked behind the scenes. Okay, Jose. And the fact of the matter is that I'll tell you. Here's the horrible truth, and this is what I know. I wouldn't remember at the first convention, even though I set up Yang Gang and MPP together. Who put them together? That's me. That's a pretty big deal. Okay. But I didn't make any noise, and you can't find anything on me like saying like I need to speak at that event. Honestly, I don't really want to. I don't want being famous. I've been around other celebrities. It's a big hassle. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, right? You get surrounded by a bunch of people that have something they want from you, and it's whack. To tell you the truth, I've been there. Believe it or not, I don't really want it. Yeah, I just want to see the things come together. But then, because I wasn't responsible and didn't take the responsibility for it and jump in and fight for that, right? Which I, really didn't give a crap about, right? Actually, I really didn't want it, right? That was my mistake, right? Don't get a big head and think, oh, I'm bigger than this, oh, I'm blah, blah. No, everything must be accounted for. The results matter. And in the end, right, me not stepping in and taking that, right, and let it and leaving it unattended meant that the grifters showed up and they screwed it all up. Yeah? Now I gotta pay the price. And you know what, it is what it is, Jose. So I'm just trying to save you from the same mistake, man. I tell you, being an advocate for people that are discarded, you see my work helping people with disabilities, people with wrongful convictions, right? Because you know why? Because I've been homeless in my life before at the age of 16. I've been on the edge where I've been bumping into those organizations begging for help and got nothing. So I learned to be that's why I'm an activist, man. Because I looked at the people around me and I saw, right, who ended up with me. People with disabilities, people who were, had problems, issues, right, that other people just didn't have the time to help them solve. People that were unattractive, people that were, not normal, right? You could say, like, maybe trans people. That's some of the saddest stuff out there. You know what I mean? You're homeless and, maybe, I see the tranny on the block, working for the hustle. I'm like, damn, like, I, I'm not ready to do that. I mean, I thought about it. I've been that desperate, but I'm not really. I never brought myself to that point. You know what I mean? So like, damn, there's people who's really not like. Maybe they are partly. I don't know. I'm not like that, but I'm just telling you right now that that reality is so harsh and grim that I see those people as my brothers and sisters. All the people that once again, people with disabilities, people that are, poor, people that are on. You look around, and that's the activism comes as a means of survival for that community, right? So Jose, man, I know like you're down with it, man. Like I've been down, and we met each other during the Tulsi days. Really, that's when we first started talking, right? And you didn't really come out to the Tulsi like campaign events. I know you were supporting the background because you're really about the Larouche thing. And you line up with Tulsi because of, the anti-war stuff. And I know that you have these ideals. You put time in on the streets and on the ground, as has Diane Sayre, and I respect and love you for that, you know what I mean? And I would never try to cancel your work. So, I got to just straight up, I'm not trying to say that you're all bad, right? Because I see a lot of good in you, for real, yeah? But there's, come on, man. Let me show you this right here, okay? Yeah, this is ridiculous. You say about Assange, right, Jose? Right? This is on my channel right here. I've documented this. Oh, look, the Diane Sayre. Let me show you this right here. Yeah. Why I support Diane Sayre? Right, about a year ago. Right. Yeah. Look, because I seen her on the streets working. Yeah, hard. Yeah. But then she entered the whole ecosystem. Now you're on Sabby Sabs, Lee Camp, the whole corrupt ecosystem right here. And ever since then, right, y'all cannot have me on your show. Y'all cannot come on my show. Y'all cannot talk to me, right? Yeah, what is this crap? You know what I mean? Because Jimmy Dore has his order out and he's going to be unhappy. And now you're associating with these, this is wrong. Anyways, yeah. So look, and if you take a look at, I know you're supposed to be supporting Assange, right? Now you see Nick Brana supporting Assange. That's because of my work on pressuring him, right? Yeah. He doesn't want me around because he doesn't like the pressure, right? Where's this Assange stuff? What's in my history? What's in my activist series, right? Okay. Activist projects. Yeah, I think the Assange stuff's over to the right here. Yeah, here we go. Look, I just do that much. Okay, yeah. 130 days. Look at this video, man. The proof is here. All right? 100. I actually went more than 200 consecutive days of me, asking on Twitter right here, right? Yeah. Asking to let me back to MPP and I'll try to get a vote to get Assange explicitly on the platform. Yo. Andrew was actually the coordinator for Connecticut. Yeah? Yo, there's mad people, the whole party. But the thing is that out of the whole revolution that happened inside the People's Party, which happened multiple times, Jose, you know about this, right? Yeah? Remember they started off with Jonathan Martin, Lynette McLean, but the press doesn't want to talk about them. They only had Jerry Perez on once, who's disappeared now, right? Yeah? They've never brought me on to talk about it, yeah? Franco did once, but then he got the order from Jimmy Dore. Then he stopped having me on to talk about it. Then you got, right, the petitioners, and they get all the shine, right? Yeah? And it's expressly, right? Yeah, Renee Johnston, right? And, and friends, right? Yeah, people that are safe. Like, what's her name again? The one from New Jersey, Kate, right? Yeah. And the petitioners, once again, you will not have the next generation, Mark Mixon, Keith Frank, stuff like that, right? There was generations of leaders that were canned and sacked, right? Jim Engel, right? Another one they won't bring on. I had them all on my show, except for, right? Did I have the petitioners won't come on my show because they want to own everything. They want to have it all to themselves. And they were going to camp out, but then while they were waiting, right, while they were gotten rid of, a new batch came in, Mark Mixon and Keith Frank, and now they're trying to move in a new batch, the Larouchans, right? But the Larouchans are smart, right, and they're going to keep the money within their own batch. They're not stupid either. They're trying to play a game here, yeah. Don't trade in DJ Elf 7 for this shit, I mean, come on. On the things that I can agree with the Larouchans about are the anti-war thing that they've been consistent on. Honestly, their whole economic theory stuff, I'm not really all into this. Like, not saying that I'm against their economic theory. I just don't really pay attention to a lot of economic theory. I just work with who I work with locally and trade with them. And, I don't really worry about, they talk about the bank or the Fed or the gold standard, like backing the dollar, blah, 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 right? Yeah. Gold, everything is just based off of perception. So, if I'm dealing with you, to tell you the truth, $1 from Jose, right? I know, like, in business, right, it might be the same thing, but $1 from Jose is not the same thing to me as $1 from Sabby Sabs, right? Yeah? Jose, I know you've been out here for decades. Jose, I know that, you have put your time in. Sabby Sabs is a new jack, right, who just wants an easy job, right? And she's really doing a lot more damage to the movement than, which now you're working with her, but you actually have some bona fides. You actually are doing the frontline work that Sabby Sabs is scared to do. She's just here to mop up the money, right? But in terms of really confronting people, you out there doing tough work, Jose. And that's not the only way to do things, right? By the way, right? Also, I do that when necessary, right? Right now, Salamander Brandy, just want to shout out her issue one more time. She's actually co-chair of Memphis DSA, was taking on Bill Lee, the governor of Tennessee, and she was fighting for trans rights, not trans rights, I mean more like he was outlining drag queen performances in public when he himself had done so even at his school. Now some kind of political mumbo jumbo is going on. There was a shooting which wasn't Salamander Brandy's fault, right? You take a look at these people that are And by the way, I hope Tulsi watches this too, right? Yeah, you take a people, right, that have been faced discrimination in so many ways, and you disregard them, you silence them, you say that they don't matter, and you only pay attention to, right? A lot of people are complaining about, the trans women or trans men, whatever they are, right? Yeah, winning these sports competitions. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then the thing is that when they're winning these competitions, right? That's what you're all mad about, that one time that you think they had an unfair advantage, right? But what about the housing for them? What about their job discrimination? What about so many other aspects of life that are unfair for them, that you are completely not giving a crap about, right? How about some equity here, right? Yeah, you want to have that fairness in sports. Hey, I'm not saying that you don't have anything to talk about. Like maybe there, I get what you're saying. I'll be real with you. Like, what I mean? Let's have a real conversation. But you don't get to just say that's the only thing you want to talk about. You know what I mean? Oh, like look at us. We're the majority of society, and yeah, you deal with that discrimination in your housing and your job, and you're not making as much, and it's just hard for you to, you know what I mean? People sometimes they beat on you. They think you have, all kinds of messed up stuff. They be illegalizing your stuff. They be picking on you, right? Not all trans people are bad. You know what I mean? There's some people want to have this kind of weird ass mentality. What happened with the Bud Light situation is honestly fuck Bud Light, but not just because it's corporate and stuff. Like they're not my friend. They're just some big corporate entity, right? They don't really give a shit about one thing or the other. They care about the money, and really they'd be donating. If you take a look at where Anheuser-Busch donates the money, it's to the Republicans, right? So this whole anti-woke agenda is being twisted outside of this, Jose. Yeah? Okay, there's other forces that are using, right, these same talking points for whatever, right? And it's not really your responsibility, but I want you to be more critical about how, right, your words and how your actions, right, are, because results matter, right? You can have your ideals, and I have my ideals too, but in the end, when you go back and, right, like this is my age speaking, this is 25, I know you're decades into as a youth, right? Yeah, and that's cool, man. I respect that, right? You're much more. That's why I'm having this conversation with you, Jose, right? Yeah, like I'm not even gonna. So I would love to have sit down and say, I'm not pushing it for it like that, right, Jose? I really recognize you as someone who's. I recognize the Larouchans as people that are more dedicated, more committed, and have been at it for decades, right? Yo, you gotta respect that, yeah, for real. Nick Brana, you know what I mean? Come on. Y'all are doing yourselves dirty associating with this fool. Yo, it's not hard to find, right? Y'all are. Yo, I know a lot of people hate on the Larouchans, like no one's perfect, right? But, like, I'm gonna go to the chat in a moment. If someone has a real problem with them, like, tell me they like classical stuff. But I'll tell you one thing that is a problem recently, okay? Recently, what's going on right now with this whole, or like, ditching an actual activist that's actually helping people out here for the. That's what is that besides corruption and this whole sexual stuff going on in the background with Caleb Maupin and Nick Brana and stuff. Listen, I thought y'all were against Hunter Biden. What's going on? For real. Yeah, I thought y'all were against Hunter Biden. What is this? I'm not trading in Hunter Biden for Jackson Hinkle. You know what I mean? This is no. Anyways, I'm just not. Okay? Y'all are in my opinion, from what I've seen and from when I've hanging out with you, y'all are way too good for that. Like, not trying to be like using this as a point of control. It's just straight up, y'all are way too good for this. That's my opinion. I'm not. Yeah, y'all actually do work on the Assange stuff. Y'all actually show up. Y'all actually try to tell people about it, right? So, anything else that I could talk about, Jose? Okay, so. He's being pushed by the system right now. So, I support trans men competing in women's sports. Okay, Nicholas Castro, that's a good question right there. Do I support trans men competing in women's sports? So I think yeah, I'll call them trans men, whatever, right? Yeah, like whatever the terminology is, always confusing, right? But the thing is that there are some women, right, who are actually, who do consider this trans community as women. And if they want to compete against them, then that's their right to do so, right? So I think it's fair for, that community to make their own decision, right? So maybe there's like in pool or something, right? Yeah, like like tabletop pool, right? Like maybe maybe the women's division, right? They're like, this is okay. You know, what I mean, maybe they're like, this is fine. Maybe ping pong or something. You know, maybe ping pong's a little too, you know, speed oriented. But you get what I'm talking about, right? Maybe chess or something like that, right? Maybe it's okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some sports where it makes more sense than other sports, right? Yeah, like I hope you know something about that sport before you make that decision. Yeah, and right, if the women competitors, the biological women competitors, I think you know what I'm talking about, right? They're cool with it. Then who are you to say, you know, I mean, if they want to compete with each other, let them. If they don't want to do it, then that's fair too, right? I'm not saying that has to be thrown out either, right? But it's okay for them to have a conversation, discussion with themselves. That's what I'm saying. So once again, Nicholas Castro, thanks for being in the chat. But you know, once again, why are you focusing so much on the competition in the sports? Right? That's a leisure activity, yeah. Instead of concerned about their housing, right, or the discrimination rate as in terms of like jobs, right? Yeah, the, some real stuff. That's real. That's really impacting lives out here, right? Their access to government, maybe like public housing or other services and stuff, right? I just want to make sure that like, look, am I when I it's not normal for me either, so it does take an adjustment. But do I think that they get to like go to a restaurant and eat in peace? You know what I mean? Without like people making fun of them or or asking them to leave or something. It's a little strange, but let them do it. Like whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. If they want to rent a home, and someone says I don't want that in my apartment or my neighborhood, I get their discomfort, but where's that person gonna live then? Come on, you know what I mean? We gotta. They're human beings too. That's where I'm coming. So the sports thing, if you got time and the energy to play sports outside of all the other things you're doing, yo, good for you. You know what I mean? And if you wanna make certain rules, that's what sports are. They happen in a certain confines and certain rules. Yeah. In this activism game, anything goes. Yeah. There is a certain amount of competition sport aspect to this, but it's not the same thing. Okay? There's real lives at stake here, real lives at risk. So, so now, the Larouchans, they like to run a lot of candidates for office, and I got to give them props on that. That's people should be more civically involved. Yeah, and the reason why a lot of bad things happen is because people have been convinced not to become politically involved. So, once again, I got to give respect to the Larouchans on that. They run people, can't, even though you heard me dissing Daniel Burke, right? Yeah, he did run for office in New Jersey, right? So, right, that's not his fault. Actually, you got to give him props on that, right? He learned the process, right? Yeah, and other people should do the same thing. There shouldn't be this imbalance going on. But we should not just give all the attention to candidates and media stars, right, who have problematic ties to youth and sex and stuff. Yeah, irresponsible. Jackson Hinkle, come on. Yo, seriously, yo, come on, Jose. Yeah, you're the next Jackson Hinkle. They lined this guy up after the forced vote thing. I'm the first one in the nation to do it. Jose, you from New York, right? What happens when you only reveal part of the truth? It's a lie. Yeah. And also, by the way, Jose, I know you're. And hey, man, that's cool. You yell out Tulsi and stuff like that. Like when you went at AOC. And I'm not really a big fan of what Tulsi's doing nowadays, but I got mad footage of me working on the Tulsi campaign in New York, and maybe have a little thing. Let me see it, man. Let me see it. Yeah, I know you was at a couple events, right? The Sans thing. Let me see it, man. Yeah, okay. I don't really remember you doing really, coming out to support like that. Yeah. So. You maybe went to like one like Assange event, and I don't really remember seeing you really in any active capacity. So look, because you're really a Larouchian, yeah. Once again, for the people that don't like Larouchians, right? You could join their organization and ask them to change, right? Yeah, like so. They are into classic music, and for all your Larouchians out there, you know who I'm talking to, right? Yeah, I could name some names. I'm not going to name them right now. Okay, I've hung out with y'all. Okay, I get along with y'all, right? Yeah, y'all complain about Biden. Y'all complain about, Um, the corruption y'all complain about, right? Yeah, the war. I'm with you, right? Yeah, yeah. Y'all like to quote like these academic intellectuals and stuff, and I've read those books too, so I get it. Yeah. You say y'all took a deal, man. Y'all made a deal. And now that's another reason why, right? Nick Bronner has been around for a long time. I know Scott Ritter is your boy, right? Yeah. Look, Nick Bronner never messed with Scott Ritter before until he had his own sexual scandal, and then he needed someone to help him out. Now all of a sudden, right? Yeah, Caleb Maupin was around. It's a sick, entitled culture of aristocracy. Yeah, the very thing that communism is supposed to fight against, for real. Y'all know it's true. Yeah, Jose. Okay, Mr. Book Reader. Okay, so I'm gonna see you soon, Jose. I'm right, man. Yeah. This Jimmy Dore stuff. He's from LA, man. Helga's from Germany. Yeah, maybe they mean well. They've been corrupted by their entourage, man. They've been corrupted by the people that have something to gain, and are using and abusing the community for their own benefits, to victimize others like myself, Jose. Why am I activist? Right? Not because I was brought up in this, because I'm a victim, and because I had to use activism to survive, man. And I help out other victims like me. Yeah. Alright, man, so I'll see you soon, man. Yeah? It's Jimmy Dore stuff. Ugh, there's a lot of stuff coming up at the end of this month. Y'all are making moves in New York City. Nick Bronner was scared to come to New York City before, man. Yeah? Y'all are paving the way for this asshole. It's disgusting. And I will try to rile up the Burning Crown, the DSA crowd. I'm working on it, man. Yeah. My work is very hard to deny. They're trying to do it as hard as they can. Good luck with that, man. Yeah?